Welcome back to Hartford Green Podcast with Monster Verde and
The co-host, the fifth official, Nick here, guys.
And it's Sean, the security guard slash the producer.
so before we talk about anything, I have a big segment to talk about. It kind of relates to the first subject, Rhode Island. When we went to Rhode Island, there's about 30 of us fans traveled in the rain, and we lost 2-0, as we'll talk about later in the podcast. But that's not my issue. The issue is the players, even in their home over, players didn't come over to the fans to clap, show their appreciation. We come in the rain. We drove 100 miles in the rain on a Wednesday to cheer you guys on. Cold rain. It was only a shout. I'm gonna give it shouts. What shouts to Michi. Michi was the first person who, and Michi just stood there for like 5 minutes, clapping to us. And Enzo, the goalie who played that game. Um, Usually Cia makes during a home opener. It was Jordan Scott first, and then Cia would tell everyone to come. Everyone was walking off the bench, and the Cia would say, "Hey guys, let's come to battle players." Like do the shit. This is a big thing that not this year, just in general. Honestly, the last time we had a coach that was for the players was Harry Watland. Harry Watland would make sure every player would come over to the fans during away games to clap for them. There was for us to go to a away game and not get credited in the rain, cold rain, not even wet, warm rain. It was cold, freezing rain the whole game. For them to come, credit is due to them, but the rest of the team, come, even Jordan Stroud, the captain should have came over. People should have come over. Brandon Burke should have come over and shit, but no.
I understand it was a difficult game. I understand that they just wanted to go home, whatever. But that is such like every time you have a significant contingent of away fans travel to a game, that is like every team anywhere in the world will come over and give them, at least recognize that they're there. It is tough on a Wednesday night in brutal conditions, watching a terrible game for the most part, to just have the two guys, like everyone else stormed off down the tunnel. And once again, I understand it was a difficult game. The result wasn't what they wanted. I know they were frustrated, but I don't think anyone left until after the whistle blew. We all stayed the entire time and we were singing and whatever. It's just a little bit frustrating. It's not the end of the world, but it is something that I definitely hope doesn't happen next time.
Any thoughts, Nick, about that?
Yeah, I do have some thoughts. Obviously, I wasn't at the game, but I can share my opinion and my frustration. And it is frustrating to kind of. I agree with what you said about the indie game. They didn't come out right away to the fans and thank them. And then the Rhode Island game, driving maybe 2.5 hours in the freezing cold, the freezing rain. And I mean, I don't think the players were honestly fed up. This game, to me, didn't really matter. And it showed with the lineup that Brendan put out there. I don't think this game mattered, honestly. So I don't know why, if the players were that fed up, why they didn't come out to say thanks for coming on out. And that's just my personal opinion. Shame on the players, honestly. I can't hold back there. That's it's Give credit where credit is due to Mishi and Enzo, and just shame on the players personally. But that's all I have to say. They do have to do better, especially with us having more away games this season. So hopefully they do better. So the lineup is as followed. This is a rotated squad. Enzo starts in goal. TJ Prestis on the right. Jordan Scarlett in the middle with Britton Fisher. Jack Laura on the left. Galen Flynn on the right. Hernandez in the center of the park. Junior Moreira on the left. Christoph, Adi Obalola, and Spencer Gordon. So starting off the game, it was TJ, that what I saw, and I was hoping. TJ Prestis finally starts, and he looked sharp. Honestly, he did look sharp, apart from the first goal where JJ Williams broke free from him and assisted the goal. If you guys watch the highlights, you'll see that. Second goal that we conceded was really just a sloppy goal. Two corner kicks that we conceded, and in the first half alone. And in the first half, we were completely bland. We had absolutely nothing. I don't even think we had many shots in the first half. So first half stats are as follows: 0.54 expected goal ratio for Rhode Island and 0.39 for Hartford. 47% ball possession, the Rhode Island, 53% for us. 5 total shots for Rhode Island, 2 for us. 2 shots on target for Rhode Island, 0 for us. 2 big chances for Rhode Island, 0 for us. 3 corner kicks for Rhode Island and 0 for us. 82% pass completion for Rhode Island, 81% pass completion for Hartford. That's all that happened in the first half. No yellow cards, just 2 corner kick goals. Do you have anything to add, Sean?
It was okay. The goals were brutal. It was boring for the play was pretty boring. It was freezing outside. We were having more fun singing than watching the game, to be honest. There's not a lot. Honestly, I don't. I'm not. There's not a lot for me to take away from this. Maybe work on our set piece defense a little bit, but the squad was really rotated. Playing a first choice championship squad, it went almost exactly how I would have expected. There's only so much to say about it, you know.
Yeah, I agree.
Totally agree there with you, Sean. Also, I would like to say is it was empty ass, empty stadium, empty, less than 200 fans easily. It was so dead. It was literally their supporters, all supporters, and there's just random folks around who. Nah, we're not gonna mention what happened.
Shout out Mohawk. Shout out Mohawk. I hope you're watching.
Yeah, your wife is a Karen. Um, yeah, it was just heavy rotor squad compared to a squad that they didn't they sucked in league play, so they want a trophy, so they just don't want to get a trophy this year. So they played. Move on to the second half, honestly.
Okay. I did just want to say that I kind of forgot to mention the commentators really need to do their research before they commentate on a game, especially like this. These were not the typical Rhode Island commentators, and these guys are they were very biased to Rhode Island, but they also just did not know Hartford's lineup whatsoever, and they acted like this was not a rotated squad. I know you both of you guys were at the game, so you didn't hear the commentators, but these were some of the most biased and some of the worst commentators ever. They were just sucking them off so bad. And the thing is this was so pathetic. They were talking about our performance, saying we need to play better, like we were not having a rotated squad. It was so embarrassing, honestly, to listen to.
I'm gonna say something about that. I'm gonna make a joke. The 21st parking was more than a ticket, $27 to park. That was pathetic. So they use that money to pay the commentators to say buy stuff about us. That's where all the money came from. 27 bucks to park.
So going into the second half, we have 4 substitutions, 1 for Rhode Island, 3 for Hartford. Honestly, I really didn't agree with these substitutions. I really don't know why Brendan made these subs, but I can't say it didn't work. I mean, I guess you could say it didn't work because we didn't score, but the second half performance was 1,000 times better than the first half performance. But Dispay, excuse me, Dispay came on for Scarlett. Argie Williams came on for Hernandez, and Mishi Angelina came on for Spencer Gordon. So starting with the second half starts, and those subs happened. 56 minutes. Mishi had a huge one-on-one with Vargas. Vargas is his name.
I think it's
With
Vegas.
Vegas. And well, huge one-on-one of the goalie. And honestly, it should have been a goal. It should have been 2-1. It was an amazing save by Vegas. He really should have put it away. Christos was the one who made the pass, and he made a really, really good pass. Honestly, I thought it was offside at first. Going back, watching the replay of it, and watching the highlights of the game, he wasn't offside. He did a perfect run, a perfect pass by Christos. And man, if we would have scored right there, 56 minute to make it 2-1, game on, because Rhode Island looked horrible. And we kept pressing into the 77th minute. Display plays a fantastic long ball to Augie on the wing, and he delivers a phenomenal cross into the box. It broke free, and it fell down to Sebastian Anderson, who was going to score. It was a perfect chance by Sebastian Anderson, and it was another goal line clearance. Second game in a row where we had a goal line clearance. Remember, we had one against Indy and we had one right here. We looked much better in the second half. We had way more chances. And if it was another night, we probably would have came out on top, honestly, with that second half performance. But starting with how the lineup we had in the beginning, I can't be too upset over this result. I expected a loss. I expected a rotated squad, and I was okay with the loss. I genuinely, yes, you would get 50,000 if you'd be the last USL championship team, but at the end of the day, I'll take the loss. I'm not gonna be upset over it. That's all the summary that happened in the second half, other than two yellow cards, one to Rhode Island and one by Christos. And oh, I forgot to add, Sebby Anderson came on at the 60th minute, and Sadat Anaku came on at the 60th minute. So going into the second half stats, it was expected goal ratio of 0.46 for Hartford, 0.37 for Rhode Island, 65% ball possession for Hartford, 35% for Rhode Island. We split five shots, split two shots on target. They actually said zero big chances for Hartford, which I don't agree with. And split corner kicks 1-1. 66 pass completion for Rhode Island, 76% for Hartford. And the game ended in a 2-0 loss to Hartford. We got eliminated in the U.S. Open Cup to Rhode Island. Yes, Rhode Island got one on us, but honestly, I expected it. What are your thoughts, Verde?
One less game that we've got one game this season. Pressure we make a playoff run. This is one less game that we needed, honestly. So we didn't care. We saw that by the lineup. And honestly, if we did win, we would have ended up playing back in Rhode Island. We would have played Rhode Island, uh, Revs at Rhode Island Stadium because Revs are hosting.
It is what it is. It sucks. It does suck to lose to Rhode Island, no matter what the circumstances are. Like, yeah, as we don't care really about the cup at this point. It was expected. It is tough to. It's always going to be tough to lose to them. I will say honestly, I think, and the Rhode Island guys would absolutely flame me for this, but I actually think that this game probably proves that we're looking better than Rhode Island this year because I think they said we rotated 9 players for the start of that game. And then
Yeah.
we started with rotating 9 players. Obviously, the team's not going to look that good. They only scored on set pieces, on 2 set pieces, which is like still not acceptable, but it is what it is. It's understandable. And then as soon as we put in, a few better players, the game turned around instantly. I actually think that we maybe should have come back in that game, but we didn't. That's okay. Bad luck, whatever it is. Also, goal line clearances are haunting us right now, and we'll talk about that more later in this episode.
Yeah, I do agree. It's actually really unlucky. So that being said, do you guys have anything else to add before we move on to the review of the Miami FC game?
Before Miami, we did get a new signing coming in, an 18-year-old guy from Nigeria. I don't know how to say his name. Don't have his name right on top of my head right now, so I'm not going to guess his name. But we did get a new signing, which apparently he is the next Momo, Momo 2.0, same build as Momo, everything.
His name is Abdullah Taufik is his name, and yes, he is a young forward, and he does have the same build size as Momo. He actually looks a lot skinnier than Momo. So we actually didn't see him in the Miami game. I was unfortunate to see that. I'm unfortunate to say that, but yeah, that's what happened. So going into the Miami game, we have the lineup, much more similar lineup. Back to the regular lineup as expected. Anthony Siahan goal, Arturo Dispe on the right, Jordan Scarlett in the middle, Britton Fisher on the left, Sebastian Anderson right wing back, Matt Real left wing back. Beverly Macangila starts again in the center defensive midfield position, and Junior Moreira in the midfield. And this I have to highlight because I love this and I want to see what's going to happen when Carriaga and Coffee come back. But you have Augie Williams, Sadat Anaku, and Mishi Angelina starting as that front three. And Mishi played more of a center forward role, kind of behind Sadat and Augie, which I love. I love this front three a lot. So going into the Miami FC game, we do have Tulu as a returning player, if you guys do remember him from 4 seasons ago now. All love to him. So in the 6th minute, Augie Williams with a fantastic chance. Fantastic chance to score us early. And just like we said in Rhode Island, just like we said in Indy, it was another cleared off the line slash block, whatever you want to call it. Extremely unlucky. I do want to point this out. This is from my notes. Augie has 2 goals this season and kind of 1 assist because he assisted that own goal in the Indy game on that corner kick. He was the one who headed it in and it hit off for the Indy player. So he has 2 goals and kind of 1 assist. He has had 2 goals cleared off the line, one in Indy and one in this game, and a penalty miss. If he had some more luck, he would easily have 5 goals for us and he'd be leading the league in goal scoring. So that's really unfortunate for Augie. But honestly, it is unfortunate, but it's showing that he's producing. Whether he's scoring or not, he's there in the right spot. And I remember Sean and I were talking about this in the first game with Jacksonville, how his positioning was phenomenal. So I do have to give credit to Augie Williams. He has been playing fantastic for us. Even though he hasn't been scoring, he's been really unlucky. I can't shit on him for that, especially with the Indy game because he should have scored there. Just that's a unbelievable goal line clearance. So moving on from that, in the 9th minute, now we have a problem. 9th minute, Matt Real came off due to injury, and TJ Prestis replaces him, who TJ looked really good defensively, but even though I am biased for TJ, he looked really poor offensively. So that being said, if Matt Real's injury is long term, maybe even short term to maybe a couple weeks to a month, we really need Samaria. We need Samaria fucking last week. So hopefully we'll see what happens this weekend. In the 17th minute, after Augie Williams had an outside the box shot, and it was a really good build up thanks to a steal by Britton Fisher. After the block, we got the ball back, and TJ passed into the middle to Bevy, and he had a great turn, and he passed to a wide open Sebi Anderson, who dribbled in and took a phenomenal shot. And it was a great save by the Miami FC goalie. I'll give credit to the Miami goalie. It should have been 2-0 Hartford, honestly, at that point. In 21st minute, Miami had a great chance. They absolutely demolished our defense, and they had a wide open shot. They just missed it wide. That's a little bit all in this first half. Going to the 44th minute, another good chance by Miami. Tunbridge runs through everyone in the middle of the park, in middle of our defense, right up the middle, takes a long shot, and Siaha comes out with a huge save, which it actually was nominated for Save of the Week. And then right after the save, Miami have a corner, and there's a player wide open back post. Thankfully, Siaha is there to make the comfortable save. And again, just like his mistake in the Rhode Island game, TJ Prestis left open a man in the Miami FC game. So maybe set pieces for TJ isn't on his specialty this year because last year he was great. So that's all the highlights in the first half. Apart from a yellow card at the 45th minute for Miami and Matt Real substitution. But first half stats are as follows. Expected goal ratio 0.48 to Miami, 0.32 to Hartford. 52% ball possession to Miami, 48% for us. 8 total shots for Miami, 5 for Hartford. 3 shots on target for Miami, 1 for us. They said 0 big chances for both teams, which I actually don't agree with. There's 2 big chances for both teams. 2 corner kicks for us, 1 for Miami. 83% pass completion for Miami, 81% pass completion for us. What do you have to say on the first half performance, Sean?
Yeah, I think we were a little bit unlucky not to be ahead. I thought we looked the better team for really the first 15 minutes of the game. I thought we looked fantastic. I was so happy with everything that was happening. The ball was moving around great. Even after after Matt Reel came off, it was still looking really good. And then for some reason, between the 15th and 20th minute, the entire game just slowed down. And that was brutal to watch. I mean, there was like maybe one or two opportunities past that point, but it was just, I mean, it was just boring to watch most of all. It was frustrating. I don't think we were doing the things we should have been doing. I think by far most of our attacking threat came in the first like 15 minutes, and I kept waiting for it to come back in the first half. I didn't feel that it did for, more than a few minutes, maybe near the end of the half.
Moving on to the second half, um, 58th minute, we have a corner, and so that plays in a perfect back post cross to Augie Williams, who takes the open header. Technically, it was off target because he hit the post, and it rings off the post. It bounced straight to Scarlett, who couldn't get a foot on it to finish it, unfortunately. And it was kind of cleared off the line again. It really was. So that's two goal line clearances in this game just by Augie Williams alone. So really, really unfortunate. So that's what happened. And I do want to give credit to Sadat because, like I said, Matt Real came off of an injury, or like we saw. And Matt Real typically takes those corner kicks or Samadia, but Samadia is not here right now. And Sadat played in some really good corners. He played in some really good balls. So on another day, he would have had an assist right there because Augie Williams would have put that away. 62nd minute, another phenomenal corner from Sadat, and it falls in the middle, and Scarlett just couldn't get a boot on it. It was the chances were falling for us, and it just was unfortunate. The Scarlett couldn't get his boot on it, and it fell to TJ Prestis, who took a really well taken shot, a fast, hard shot, and again, it's blocked slash cleared off the line. So it really, really unfortunate. 68th minute, Sadat comes off for Addy. And then the last 20 minutes of the game, from the 70th minute, you could tell we were we let off the gas pedal. I mean, the beginning, like Sean said, in the beginning of the first half, we played really well. The beginning of the second half, we played really well. The first 30 minutes of the second half, you could see that we just took the foot off the gas pedal, and maybe we were tired because of the heat. I don't know, or maybe we were just playing for a draw. Personally, I think it's a mixture of both. But excuse me, at the same time, we have substitutes for a reason. We have substitutes. We should be using them to make one substitute, one offensive substitute. Again, I have to fucking come at Brendan Burke for this. You did the same shit in the Birmingham game, and that game ended 0-0, and now you're doing this. So you need to fucking use your subs, man. I'm sorry, but you need to do that. I'm sick and tired of these easy win games. Birmingham and Miami, we should have easily won. Indy 11, I'll accept the draw. But this is just fucking uncalled for. I don't want to hear that, oh, we're away and we got to play for a point or to get points. The stadium's fucking empty. There's no home field advantage. There's no home field advantage if the stadium's empty. If you can hear a fucking pin drop. I'm sorry. Weather is not an issue here. Finally, in the 93rd minute, Miami have probably the biggest chance in the whole game. For me personally, Sebi Anderson did get fouled in this build-up by Roja, but it wasn't called. And he had all the time in the world to play a beautiful ball into the box, which he does. And he passes to Okadia, who had a wide open shot. And he shot it really quick and hard, straight at Siaha. Luckily, it was straight at Siaha. But it was a pretty hard save to make. Game ends in a 0-0 draw. We split the points again. And player of the game for me was Siaha. Dispay did have a little head injury. He hit his head, but he did play the whole game. Miami had, excuse me, Miami had 5 yellow cards, and we looked exhausted in the last 20 minutes. And like I said, why wasn't Hernandez subbed in? An attacking midfield presence is definitely missing, especially at the end of the game. I do want to give credit again to Beverly Macangila and Jordan Scarlett because I was shitting on them hard in the beginning of the season. they have looked good. They looked good in the indie game and they looked good in this game. Junior also played very well. What do you have to say, Sean?
Yeah, I mean, I was convinced that we were going to win this game. I was convinced when we got, especially when there was that like easy tap in. I mean, the ball went right by his foot. It was like an inch away from his foot, open net right in front of him, a foot away from goal. There was no saving that. All it needed was the slightest bit of contact, and we would have won that game. I was incensed by the end of that game. I'm not as angry anymore, but it was very frustrating. I mean, I think you're right. I think near the end, I said I was like, I wonder how hot it is there, but. I just think like we looked lethargic, like we looked like we didn't want to play anymore, which is really frustrating because all of our most embarrassing moments come from when we're trying to play like preventative defense, like when we're just trying to play for a point, play for, whatever, or even when we're up and we're just trying to play to keep it, to keep it as it is. We do so much better when we're continually attacking, keeping the ball away from away from ourselves. I don't know why. Brendan was like content, and this has been a theme a few times this year, where they've been way too content to just kick the ball around in our own half. I don't think that's not the way that we're meant to play, and it doesn't end well for us.
The only thing is I'm going to say about this game, not even this game in general, we traveled Thursday, which we've been Bruce. I'm going to take credit to Bruce. He spent a little bit more money this year. We're staying at hotels a night, 2 nights instead of one night. We used to go the day before the game. The last all the way games so far this season, we've been up a couple days beforehand, so we've been spending money, which is good for the players. So we've been adjusting well, not being jet lagged going into these games. We're getting jet lagged going to Miami, but I'm just saying in general.
Yeah, I will just finish it off with the Miami game with the second half stats. Expected goals 0.71 to Hartford, 0.13 for Miami. 58% ball possession to Miami, 42% to Hartford. We had 7 shots in the second half, one for Miami, 1 shot on target for Miami, zero for us. Granted, that was because of a lot of block shots. Zero big chances for both teams, it says. I really don't agree with that. 2 corner kicks for Miami, 7 for us. 71% pass completion for Hartford, 77% for Miami. Do you guys have anything else to add in the Miami game before we review El Paso?
Nope.
I th I think we're good.
Yeah. Now we're gonna talk about El Paso. Preview to El Paso. Which El Paso is a legit team. There's two teams in the undefeated team in the East, which is us and Tampa. And El Paso in the West, there's two undefeated teams in the West.
Going into the El Paso game, these are my notes on El Paso. And this is going to be a very hard game. This is going to be our test of the season so far. If we win this game, we're the real deal. If we lose this game, we could just be
Jokes.
who knows what. So El Paso is 100% the hottest team in the West right now, and arguably the best in the league. This will be a real challenge for us on Saturday. They have 4 games played, 10 goals scored, and 5 conceded. They're coming off a 3-2 win versus Vegas, where they scored 2 goals in the first half. They're also on a 5-game winning streak, including 2 in the Open Cup. 2 players to watch, which honestly, that's kind of all you have to watch in the El Paso attack, I should say, because their goals are scored mostly by these guys. 2 players to watch. Um, Rubio Ruben, who leads the league right now for the Golden Boot with 4 goals and 1 assist, who also has 2 goals in the U.S. Open Cup. So he has 6 goals and 1 assist in the season so far. Also with 4 goals in the USL, you have Armando Moreno, who just picked up 2 versus Vegas. So you have 2 players who have 8 goals scored between them. Those 2 players have scored more goals than we have this entire season. So definitely, we're gonna have to be watching them. They're gonna be a huge.
Yeah.
So
I would like to say something about Ruben. Ruben, he is the captain of the Guatemala national squad team member. So he's a big name. He played for the MLS. This is a big name coming into those days.
yeah, El Paso play very similar to us. They play counter-attacking. So gonna see how we counter that. By what I mean is how our defense is gonna treat that. We saw that in the 11 game. We saw that in the first half how we treated that. We took control of the ball and we played through the middle. Second half we kind of didn't, but we'll see what we do with our game plan because with teams that play like us, we tend to struggle. So if available, this is my predicted lineup, and then I'll give you my predicted result, and I'll let you guys do the same thing after. So my predicted lineup would be obviously the same. Anthony Siaha net. Center backs are going to be Dispace, Scarlett, and Fisher. Sorry. If available, Matt Real on the left, which he probably won't play, so TJ will take that spot. Sebi on the right, Bevy CDM, Junior Moreira and Mishi and Galena in the midfield with Sadat and Augie up top. I still think that Coffee and Cariaga are going to be out. I honestly would keep the same lineup in the Miami game. I think we played well in the Miami game. We just couldn't fucking hit the target. And also the blocked shots and the goal line clearances. You got to give credit to the Miami defense. So my predicted result, it's going to go 2-1 to Hartford, or it's going to go 2-0 loss. That's honestly, I don't see this game ending in a tie. Hopefully, we have much better luck with the block shots and the goal line clearances. That's all I have. What are your predictions, Sean?
Yeah, the lineup, I think you're right. I think it probably won't change too much from the Miami game. Obviously, you know, TJ will probably be playing. Result wise, I'm honestly not super confident. I think it might be a draw. I think we might see another 2-2 draw, which I don't know how many draws I can handle, and hopefully it's not. Hopefully we win, but I'll go 2-2.
The questions that I gave to you guys, how did you guys feel about the Miami draw? And do we care about the U.S. Open Cup loss to Rhode Island? And we have an answer. I was disappointed in the Miami outcome, and I couldn't care less about dropping out of the U.S. Open Cup, which I can't disagree. Another question we have from a fan is, in the past two games, how come we haven't been able to score? My response to that simply is, I mean, you have to give credit to the defenses that we've been facing. The block shots have been really unfortunate, and the goal line clearances have been really unfortunate. And it's not just the two games; it's the three games. It's the three games. It's Miami, it's Rhode Island, and it's Indy 11.
For me, I'm gonna say we're missing somebody. Augie's waiting for somebody to cross us. Augie wants somebody to cross us all day. The homeboys, the homies. He's waiting for somebody crossing, and we seen somebody crosses back in the day, which they look good, but we had no one in the box. We now have Augie in the box. He's just been waiting for his brother from the same country, like the best friend, they're like homies. So he's just waiting for his best friend to come, and then he'll be scoring goals left to right.
Yeah, I think in a way you're both kind of right. I think to some extent we can't freak out too much. I think that the teams we've been playing have made some really excellent defensive plays. We've gotten really, really unlucky in a few moments. I mean, the fact that we haven't scored, that we didn't score in the last two games is like we should have. You would have expected to. There's so many moments where like at some point it is luck. I don't think we need to start putting on the alarm bells like, oh, this team can't score. But I do think our production is going to significantly increase once Samadia comes back.
And honestly, I can't be bitching about we ain't scoring goals because yes, we haven't scored goals in the last two games. We did score against Indy 11 twice, so we did score. But honestly, right now we're undefeated in league play. We're undefeated in league play, top sitting fourth place. So if we're sitting bottom table without win, then yeah, I'll be bitching and moaning saying we can't score goals. I'm not scared yet, like Sean said.
I do have to say, yeah, I don't want to alarm any bells yet. But honestly, after this game, we may start looking at it. Yes, we are undefeated still. That is true. But personally, the luck needs to favor us a little bit, and I think it will. I think it will start to favor us. And not just when Samaria comes back. I think when Carriaga comes back, when Coffee is healthy again, we don't know how long they're out. Honestly, I really do feel like if Hernandez played in that Miami game, he would have been a complete game changer. But that's just my personal opinion. But we're not talking about Miami. We're talking about El Paso. This is going to be a really tough team. Like I said, this is going to be a really, real big challenge. This whole month is going to be a real big challenge. Maybe not that much now with Loudon because Loudon really doesn't look that good this year. And I originally thought they were going to be good. But El Paso looks really well. Unfortunately, I won't be making this game. I'll be making the Loudon and the Rhode Island game at the end of the month. But we have some upcoming games that are going to be challenging. This month is definitely harder than last month.
And I totally agree with that. And we have a 4 game home stretch now. We're home 4 games in a row. We don't have to go away, so we can get back place and get back into a normal routine about training without worrying about travel.
Yeah, that's all I have for you guys. Vamos, Hartford.
Vamos Atletico.
Uh, Vamos Hartford. If you've watched this far, you know what I'm about to say. I owe you a cookie. Thank you for watching. Join us again next week. Vamos Hartford.
Post the fifth official